transportation, we're going to move on, and we're going to have this question be addressed by Ms. Delp and Mr. Hilbert. In the local news recently, we have been seeing citizen reports of how inefficient and unreliable GRTC transportation is. Example, coming in extremely late or leaving before it's scheduled, a lack of accessibility to western locations. What will you do specifically to provide better and more efficient transportation throughout the greater Richmond area? So for example, would you be supportive of implementing a rapid bus line from Willow Lawn? And if so, how would you implement this project? Ms. Delp?
I definitely believe that efficient public transportation is lacking in the 3rd District. For me to get from my house to the Fan, it takes approximately an hour and 15 minutes. I have to go take a bus downtown and then reconnect to go into the Lombardi area. It takes me approximately 15 minutes to bike there. That is a definite, it's a barrier in our area. I support having a rapid bus line to Willow Lawn. I think that because the Barton Heights area was built because of the streetcars, I think it would be a good idea to look at the streetcar routes and see what routes they were taking. They were very efficient. We were the #1 city for a really long time. I think that it's important for us to make sure that our bus routes and public transportation are comprehensive, efficient, and easy for people to use and to determine which route they need. Thank you.
Mr. Hilbert?
Thank you. What I would like to see for an overall plan for our transportation, I thought it was interesting that this was more efficient transportation throughout the greater Richmond area. I have supported, and State Senator John Watkins has talked about having a regional transportation authority. And I believe that the GRTC should be rolled into the RMA so that all transportation is public transportation. I don't know any time that anybody said a road had to pay for itself, but yet so-called public transportation has to pay for itself. GRTC has one of the highest rates in the country of being able to cover its cost with the tolls that are collected. I think the counties will benefit in that they'll have some control over the tolls. Currently, the city has a majority of seats on the RMA. I'm willing to make that equal, but for that exchange, I want the counties to stop embargoing buses from coming in there. It's wrong, but we need to provide them an incentive to do that. So I would be willing to sacrifice the city's majority seats on the RMA in exchange for public transportation to 2 jobs in the county. I think that's the only way we're going to make a major breakthrough. And we're going to continue to get stonewalled without offering something to the counties. So that's what I propose that we do. Senator Watkins has talked about this idea at the district meeting. I'm for certainly this rapid bus line, but I also want to do something bold, and time is running out. I'm concerned that the General Assembly is going to force changes on us that we don't want. And I'll tell you right now that we're going to fight those by any means necessary to make sure that the city retains a right in the highway that it built and citizens that it displaced.
Mr. Ryan, would you like to speak to that?
Transportation is a sore spot in our city. It's decent in the city, but taking an hour and a half to get that's ridiculous. The truth of the matter is, the counties are in no hurry to us to get bus service out there, and they're going to drag their feet as long as they can. But the problem is, we have people in the inner city who don't have access to transportation who are trapped. They can't get to where the jobs are. You're not going to go out on Broad Street and get a job. There's not much in the way of retail. Most of your jobs are in the West End or in Chesterfield. We need to aggressively work with Chesterfield and Enrico and demand that we have bus service out there. Because, again, people are trapped. And it's in their best interest too, because we can bring them workers and we can bring them shoppers. When they go out there and work and make money, they're going to spend money out there. If they're not willing to work with us sooner rather than later on the bus service, then we need to look at other means of going to places like Innsbrook, some of the shopping centers out there, and negotiating with those property owners of getting bus stops out there and taking it there regardless. Now, there is a cost to bus service. It's not free to, there is going to be a cost to that. Like you just said, we build roads, not necessarily questioning whether they're going to be justified. From a cost standpoint, we have to look at that with the bus service too, because what we'll get is people that have jobs, and so you can't just look at GRTC on a dollar per dollar basis. You've got to look at what that transportation will do back to our society. And we have a responsibility to get our folks to jobs and get them transportation. And I think it's doable. And again, let's work with Chesterfield and Henrico first. But if they're not willing to do it, we need to move forward regardless. We can't wait for them. It's not acceptable.
Ms. Page?
Yes, I would like to comment on that question. I support the GRTC rapid bus line from Willow Lawn, but in addition to that, we need to expand that into the south side. Transportation has truly plagued the south side, the 8th district. GRTC has stopped services, weekend transportation services. How can our residents get to their place of employment? We're borderline with Chesterfield, and we need to explore regional planning to create an aggressive plan, transportation plan with GRTC because when I walk through the district and talking to the residents, I hear over and over and over, I need a job, I want a job, but I don't have the means of transportation. So as the council representative, you have to have the ability to be able to work with others to address the issues that impact your district as well as the city. So I believe in that, addressing regional planning for transportation. Thank you.
Thank you. We want to get to some.
I would like this addressed that way. That's the second part of my platform.
Mr. Walker, actually I was going to get to you, but first I'd like to ask a question.